incidences to share. Most of the incidents that have happened yesterday and today morning, I'm yet to get details from our commanders on the ground. And I think I'll be able to share some of those immediately. I get them, I'll make it like in a statement form, including even comments, the audio comment. Otherwise, I think more of what discussion I'll get from you in line to what you wish to know. But basically, we are aware of the 2025 general elections. So far, the roadmaps that have been given by the Office of the Electoral Commission is fully shared in the different platforms, and also press statement that the chairperson himself was making. So the roadmap is very clear. We've had series of other party activities in terms of how they are prepared also for the 2026 general election. Primaries have been done for different parties, and others are still ongoing. In terms of security from our region, so far so good. It has been moving on very well and smoothly, and our preparedness, together with the efforts that is being put in place by different stakeholders, particularly you in the media, is recommendable, and it's well felt down there. And that is why most of these programs that are moving on, we rarely hear negative reports in line to how the whole program is moving. Last week we had election of youth leaders in different offices. It went on well in other districts and in division. We only had issues in Lira City East Division, where there were some misstep from some of the members, but later still it was managed, and later the election went on peacefully as they required. Now today, the 11th of August 2025, nominations forms for different positions like the district councillors, municipal councillors, and sub-county councillors, and a special interest group is equally ongoing in these different offices, and I'm sure picking up the forms are moving on well. There are those ones who can do it online. It's also ongoing. Our participation as security is basically foresee the entire process in line to providing security as it requires. So the moment we are called upon, our participation is to respond. And this also gives me to say that as security in the region, we are prepared. I shared with you some times back that we expect more manpower in terms of beefing up the strength that we have. And as I speak now, we received a team over the weekend from our field force unit that is going to support us a lot in our operation for the entire region, including some of the gadgets, like I shared with you, APCs, and other equipment. All this is in line to seeing that we provide, if possible, 90 to 100% security to all parties. Can be the candidates, can be the voters, can be the Office of Electoral Commission, can be you in the media, everybody. It is within our docket to see that that is done. So our top leadership, they have done their part by seeing that they provided with this security. So ours is supervision as a region, and the commanders at district levels and at the division. we are hopeful that all will move on well as time moves by. We registered some cases of murder by mob, murder in general. This is one thing that is still a gist in our region, in line to these continued cases being received at our different facilities. Our territorial police in Kole district have apprehended 3 suspects in connection to a case of murder by mob of one identified as Okelo Hassan, age 48 years old. This incident happened from his own village in Wirao village, Abako Town Council in Kole district. It was alleged that on the 9th of August 2025, at unidentified time at night, Okelo was suspected to have stolen or gone to the home of Mara in Achor village and stole a goat to facilitate his visitors who were coming to his place the next day. Indeed, on the 10th of August, the chairperson of these 2 villages, having got that report, they decided to storm the home of the deceased with intention to conduct a search. However, on the arrival, Okelo Hassan, on seeing them, took off, and this generated suspicion to the team who were on the site, and they chased him, got him, and was beaten to death. Search continues. Some meat and some remains suspected to be that of the stolen goat was recovered in the garden next to Okelo's home. The police was informed about this case. A case of murder by mob was registered in Abore police station. The scene of crime was visited by some detectives and the scene of crime officer. The body of the deceased was picked and taken to Lira Regional Referral Hospital's mortuary, where it's pending a postmortem examination. 3 suspects who have been apprehended have been identified as one, Ogwal George, 54 years old, chairperson LC1 of Wirao village; Opiyo Terence, 51 years old, resident of Wirao village; and Ijora Dennis, who is also LC1 of Achekelei village. Also in a similar way, in Aleptong last week, Ogur Bruno, age 57 years old, was arrested from Makitegi village in Abaro sub-county for alleged murder of his wife, Awidi Florence, 52 years old. This follows a disagreement between the two. I think the husband wanted to sell a piece of the land, and the woman was not in consensus about that. So this generated a quarrel between them, and the husband picked a big stick, and when we visited the scene, we realized it was a mortar. So, and hit the wife on the head, and again they didn't take her to the hospital. So at night is when the woman died. Then also in Uyam district, one Achila Jacob Chimi was killed by cutting under unclear circumstances by one Otim Patrick. All these cases, actions have been taken and arrests were made, and we expect that all these perpetrators will have to face the law. This gives me to say that our findings also as police, sometimes we realize most of the domestic related cases, you realize that the challenges are there in terms of provision of the basic necessities at home. Our wives overbearing children, and it's becoming a challenge that sometimes they don't take care of these children. And as police, we feel it is something that needs attention of the different health practitioners to teach our community members on probably issues of lagunyal. Okay, it's something which looks funny but very important, and it's something which we are practicing. Women should be encouraged to go for different contraceptives, which is helpful because you will be able to, if you've given birth this year, you can say let's give birth to 3 or 4 years after. Okay, much as in African traditional society, we still believe that giving birth to many children is a pride, or it's kind of a family defense, something like that. But that was those days. We are now in a modern world where we encourage, and we as the men, we are supposed to encourage our wives. Actually, we should escort them to the different health facilities and encourage them. Consult with the doctors, see which contraceptive is better for your wife, and you encourage her to go on. By this, you will be doing what we call a child spacing. And at the end of the day, when it comes to issue of school fees, when it comes to issue of the basic necessities like clothing, medical health care, food, and the rest of it, you realize that will give room for you to provide all it takes for the family. And at the end of the day, it will reduce on the family domestic issues. So I think this is one thing we should all look at and take interest. I believe it is going to be very helpful. Of late, I had the whole Minister of Health talking about this. So we believe that these are things that we should all take interest and we support. By so doing this, I am sure we're going to reduce on the cases of the domestic related challenges that we experience in our homes. I thank you for listening, and I promise to you that the moment I get, like, we've registered cases of accident this morning. Suicide is not really a case, but it's something that should interest our community. Why do we register suicide? Because if someone dies, that one is a gone case. You can't apprehend, you can't take a dead person to court. In other words, it's in our in the law books, there are no cases of suicide. But an attempted suicide becomes a case. You're supposed to explain why did you choose to remove your life. And since you don't die, you're supposed to be held responsible. So we also had some cases of accident, like I said, like in Kamdini last night. There were cases of accident that were registered. Just this morning along Juba Road, we also had accident. So these are things that I'll be able to give you before the day ends, the moment I receive the details from our commanders on ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe hint something also about the massive harass that took place in Kyoga last week, where we saw, of course, some people appeared in Kyoga district, where we had a contestant, an MP contestant, being arrested.
Last week?
Allegation related to forgery and sale of the livestock claimants cards, data cards to the claimants of livestock.
I missed that. Can I find out before even you leave?
Please find out, because we also hear that there are several other people that are to be arrested, including the sitting members of parliament.
Yes, DPC. Good morning. Is it still morning? It's about to reach midday. Hey, how is your district? Sorry? You're on pass? Can you share with the OC station where there are some arrests made last week in line to issues relating to payment of the war claim and thing? Yeah. Okay, fine. Why didn't you ask me? Final.
She denied.
Hmm?
She denied.
No, it's not. It's on pass. Meanwhile, Adson has some question. No, it's busy.
Being related to being the same.
I was of the opinion,
Yeah.
if possible, these cases we don't need to follow them just from when you are telling us like this.
Which one?
All most of the cases. Maybe if they are being taken to court also, if you could alert us, cannot forbid with that these and these people will be taken to court today, like that. Some of us may be interested to follow it from court.
Yeah, that's why we really need to coordinate. Yeah, I
Just
can
on
be
the platform,
deep
just
in you.
inform us.
And sometimes you may not be interested.
For me, I'm very interested.
Just imagine the arrests of the first three. They were arrested, detained there to the Central Police
What's the
and
CID?
taken to court after.
Good morning and well done. How's your district? I'm told Delta Papa Charlie is not around. Confirm issues before your death relating to this war claim and compensation. That some arrest was effected last week. Okay. And safe custody. How many were there? Okay. Oh, well, that makes sense. It's okay. Thank you. So, some of these cases, you see, when the CIDs don't share with me, that means it's being handled by another unit. This is purely a case being handled by State House Anti-Corruption. Okay.
Even what you're briefing me is important, right?
Yeah, I'm already giving you the feedback of what you're asking about.
Maybe
it is a case which is purely being investigated by State House Anti-Corruption, and it is true some 3 suspects were brought to our facility, but basically for safe custody. So that means for more details, I will definitely refer you to the responsible person in that office. So our involvement there is basically safe custody, and if said they should be arranged to court, they will do that.
Who are those individuals?
Sorry?
Who are those individuals?
But that's why I'm saying for details now, I refer you to those different office, that very office which is handled, which I've already tipped you on.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't hear you mention anything about wetlands. You said you are going to do that.
Wetland, last week we conducted the whole week operations in Kwania, and there are 2 districts, and basically our involvement, we have our environmental police, and also we received a team from NEMA that came, and we had a joint operation. The target was sent a message to those ones who are still busy cultivating in wetland areas. A number of crops were destroyed in terms of sending a message that yes, we need to protect such places. So it's an ongoing operation which will continue not only in Kwania, even in other districts, for purposes of seeing that we protect those places. Thank you.
So like I asked in the group, Afande, lately we had police came out to say they do not have manpower for a meeting that was organized by UPC. And then towards the end of this week, we are expecting an election, also coming from the same party. So are we likely to see or receive the same communication, or this time round the party has reached out to your institution and all is prepared to ensure that these elections are conducted free and in an orderly manner?
First of all, we have a standard guidelines. If you look at the Public Order Management Act, okay, the active sections which are there, it provides for that any organization of any event, the Inspector General of Police needs to be notified 2 weeks in advance to plan. 2, the particular organizers should present to the same office the venue for the activity. Is there agreement with the venue leadership or not? All this needs to be done, and that will give time for the Office of the Inspector General of Police to reply in writing the same way it was sent, that yes, let us know how many members do you expect in your activity. That will give room for planning, and at the end of the day, it will give opportunity for the IGP to instruct the area commander. That will start with the regional police commander, then later to the DPC. That gives room for preparation to be done in time. That particular exercise, I think, was just within 2 or 3 days notification that cannot work. That was uncalled for. That's why our top leadership said no, we need to prepare, we need to confirm with the leadership of that particular place, and we see that we are together. So that was not done. That is why probably a statement came like that. So a moment we are notified, we are ready and prepared to see that we plan together with the organizers, and we make sure that a successful event is secured, and at the end of the day, no complaints. Thank you.
Lately we also heard about arrest of groups calling themselves security groups like bouncers and so on. What is the relationship between these particular groups and then police, and then what is police's stand as far as politicians using these particular groups of people?
There is completely no relationship between the bouncers and Uganda Police Force. Reason being, the bouncers are not reflected in any law books of this country. That yes, they're supposed to do this security work here and there, but it is an initiative that people have come out with in terms of looking for ways to live, okay? And they've been doing very well in a number of public places, like maybe a bar, restaurant, hotels, something like that. But when it comes to management of security, like a formal arrangement within the government setting, they do not in any way fall anywhere. That is why when it came to the time of the NRM primaries, we experienced such groups which are being used by individuals. It can be candidates, can be, fortunately, the office of the Electoral Commission of NRM in Uyam. The returning officer herself confirms to us that she hired these people. Now you wonder under what ground, yet Uganda Police as a lead agency in fostering security are there. We didn't get that. It was really uncalled for. That is why we had to come and say, no, this cannot work. The 16 who were apprehended in Dokolo, okay, all their statements were taken. But those people were supposed to appear in court, but I think the district security committee sat and they came to a consensus and said, fine, since being the first time in our district, let's look for a win-win situation. And that's why it was handled in that format. Though they were given police bond, but that means it's not the end of the case. Giving you police bond, it means you're temporal outside pending decision from the state. So that is exactly what happened. But to be very open, completely, we do not have any alignment between bouncers and security. That is why I am here to confirm to you again that bouncers, please concentrate on your operations in the bars, you know, in restaurants, in the hotels, where those management accepts your operations in terms of what you are supposed to do. But when it comes to managing public events like crowd, no, that is not their work. And if they want to be involved, fine, let them write to the Inspector General Police, so that the Inspector General Police will take it up. Maybe it can be put before a parliament. So let's see where we can put this category of people in the constitution. Or they can be given to fall under private security organization. There they can be recognized. But short of that, no way. We shall not look or watch at them doing things that are supposed to be done by different institutions.
Are they interfering with your work?
I can't say interference. They completely have no legal impediments that make them deal in the work that is being done by security. They don't fall anywhere.
So why does the public or people who hire their services seem to be more confident?
That is being ignorance. They do not know who's supposed to be approached for the services that needs to be provided to them. In any case, they are misguiding these people, because at the end of the day, once they are arrested, these people are not, they will shy away, they will not come for their rescue. The case in point, this one of Dokolo, who came to even see them, even the person who hired them, who lost in that the primary, never visited them. They want to fulfill their individual interests, okay, at the expense of this very person who is doing things. Well, he will get something for a living, but it's doing it in a wrong way. That's why if they have their structures, they have their leadership, let them write to the Inspector General Police, and they'll be guided on what steps they should do. Probably if they can be put under private security organization, the better. Yes, but for now, no, they don't fall anywhere.
So what's your message to the public, probably, as we swim through this election process?
My message is very clear that let's not behave like it is in section 4 of the Penal Code Act, which says ignorance of the law is no defense. Do not go and hire these bouncers simply because you know they are there, they can provide the services. But then at the end of the day, you say, I didn't know it was wrong for me to have hired them. That is not the case. Let us desist from involving people who are not part and parcel in security management of this country. There are particular roles where they can play in other sections, but not in managing an event of public general election. No, they cannot fall there. In any case, different individuals or companies, they must avoid hiring bouncers for fulfilling their personal interests. If you have anything relating to security, approach the office of the district police commander, the divisional police commander, the regional police commander, and you are guided on what steps you should do. That, at the end of the day, will come very, very clearly. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
There is an incident of drowning in a laptop. Or you have not yet gathered?
Yeah, I also tried calling to find out about that. Those are things I will commit myself to giving immediately. I get a fax. Yeah. Those are now spoiled police motorcycles. They are pending transfer to headquarters.
No dispute.
They're already spoiled.
Why don't they sell from here?
Well, the top leadership will guide because they're supposed to go to the director of logistics.